Now, the UK failed to track detainees handed over to the US, neglecting to protect them from possible torture in America's secret prisons. That's been revealed after an agreement between the two states on the treatment of terror suspects captured in Iraq was declassified. 28-year-old Pakistani Yunus Rahmatullah is one of the victims of this deal. He was seized by British soldiers in Iraq in 2004 as a suspected insurgent and secretly sent to a US detention camp in Afghanistan. It's a process dubbed extraordinary rendition. The man's lawyers are calling on the UK to help free him, as Britain was the detaining authority. Corey Crider from the Reprieve charity, who's fighting for Rahmatullah's release, told RT that Britain's friendship with America blinds it to the truth.
There are hundreds of prisoners in Bagram, but what makes Yunus special is that Yunus was actually picked up by the United Kingdom in Iraq in February 2004. The UK handed him to the United States. In March and April, there were discussions between the US and the UK because the US wanted to send him to Bagram and the UK didn't object, despite the fact that at this time even the Abu Ghraib photos broke, making it absolutely clear to anyone who had any doubt what was happening to prisoners in US detention. The UK says that it learned, quote unquote, in June of that year, June 2004, that my client had been sent to Bagram. And although there's an MOU, a kind of deal between the US and the UK that permits the UK to get him out of custody, it never bothered to do so. So we've had to sue them in the United Kingdom courts in habeas corpus to tell them, you have to get this prisoner back. He never should have been sent out of Iraq. He was rendered unlawfully in violation of the Geneva Conventions, and you have a responsibility to him. He's your prisoner. When we first started to go see prisoners there shortly after the Supreme Court allowed prisoners to go in, we heard all kinds of stories of people being roughed up and abused. At this moment, the clients I go and see there are going on 10 years in detention. They've lost almost a decade of their lives, and there's no prospect of a trial, no prospect of release, and Congress is going on saying we need to have Guantanamo forever. So that's the real agony that they go through at this point. Uncertain future, no prospect of leaving. I think it's one of the saddest parts of the whole war on terror story, the way various European nations were the kind of witting or unwitting handmaidens of the US torture practices. We know about CIA secret prisons in Poland, Romania, Lithuania. The UK is the US's closest ally, let's be clear. And we saw time and again in the war on terror, the UK getting just a little bit too close to the illegality of George Bush and his cronies.